What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to do something a little different. I know that all of you see me at this point in my recovery. You've been with me on this last year of the journey, and you see what my life is like now. You see what I look like now. And I thought it would be kind of cool to show you some pictures of when I was in the worst part of my addiction. I made a community post, I don't know how long ago, maybe like a month ago or so, where I showed one of those pictures and I kind of shared where I was at mentally and physically. And so in today's video, we're going to go over some more pictures together, and I'm going to share with you similarly where I talk about where I was at and how I was feeling. And my hope and intention for this video is so that you can see where I came from as compared to where I'm at now at almost 4 years into recovery. So the one that I showed in my community post, I'm gonna probably save for the last one. So we'll start off, and this is like my old phone that I still have that has like a bunch of these old pictures and then like stuff like that on there. So I'm going to be using that, so they're not going to be possibly as clear as if I hold up like a piece of paper to the camera here. So hopefully you'll still be able to see them okay. So just to give you a little backstory, if this is the first video that you're joining us on, or you may be new to our community and our channel here, I'll just give a little recap about what my Kratom addiction looked like. So I was addicted to Kratom for 3 years. The last year of that was a long taper, and I was at 40 to 60 grams per day at my highest. The first 6 months to kind of around the year mark, things were great for me when I first started taking Kratom. It seemed like a cure-all. It seemed like it was helping with a chronic pain condition that I have, with the grief that I was going through after losing a couple close family members. So it seemed like it was a godsend. And for the first up until about the year mark, it was great. And then throughout the next year to follow, so the second year of my addiction, which was the worst part of my addiction, it was a really drastic bad decline from when things were good. So in my worst, in that second year, I found myself where I had lost at that point probably a good 30 pounds. I lost maybe 37, 38 pounds. I don't have a scale, so I'm just going on what I weighed in one point and my starting point, and then what I weighed at the end. So I'm not really sure how fast I was losing it, but I know based on my clothing size and stuff that at the second year of my addiction, I had lost a lot of weight. Altogether, I lost almost 40 pounds. So in that second year, I probably had lost up to 35 pounds, I would say, generally. So I wasn't big to begin with. So I basically was pretty much 90 pounds at the end of it. And I lost more than half my hair, and a whole other bunch of health problems cascaded in that second year of using. So this is in the second year. And as I look at these pictures, I don't even think they really represent as bad as I looked in person. The pictures I don't think do it justice. So this was, and I'm gonna try to get it because I have the light behind us to light the video. And you can see I'm making it because it's a live video. You can see, I always had bags under my eyes because it's my genetics, but you can see how big the bags are even there. You can see how much thinner my face is. My hair is pulled back in this one, so you're not able to see how bad my hair looks. This is December 16th, 2018. This wasn't in the second year of my addiction, actually. I quit in February 2020, so my bad. It is the second year. So this is when it was at its worst. You can see here, this is October 2018. I'm smiling. I had taken a dose of Kratom shortly before, so I was in a better headspace. You can see how thin my face is. Again, my hair is pulled back, so you can't really see how bad it looks. And I think a lot of these pictures too, you can't really see how bad my skin was looking. That was something that I went through too, and we talk about it a lot, that Kratom just wrecks your skin for a lot of us. And for me, it caused extreme drying and a lot of like premature wrinkling that was actually due to the Kratom, because when I stopped the Kratom, all of that kind of evened out. So these pictures don't really show it as well. Let me see here. I remember this, and to fill you in on how I was feeling towards the end of my addiction when these pictures were taken, the ones where I have somewhat of a smile on my face, like I was saying, that was shortly after I would dose. This is a good example of when things got really bad. I remember being so sick from Kratom withdrawals, and as you know, Kratom creates this like cycle that you are put on when you're in this addiction, where you dose, you have a short amount of time, maybe an hour if you're lucky. For me, sometimes it would only last like a half an hour or so of relief, and then the withdrawals would start again. And one of the worst things for me about this addiction was that I was constantly on these cycles of dosing and then going into withdrawals over and over again, that I wasn't able to sleep for more than 3 or 4 hours at a time, because that dose that I would take would wear off, and then the withdrawals would literally wake me up out of sleep. Or sometimes when I would dose, I would have relief, so I would want to stay up to be able to like ride out that feeling and that sense of relief that it gave me. So for those 3 years, I wasn't sleeping longer than 3 or 4 hours at a time. And so this was in the morning, actually. We've moved this past, how long is it? We've been here for a couple years now, but we're in the same condo building that we were at when these pictures were taken. And you can still see the water from our living room, but this other condo that we were in when I was at this point of my addiction, it was facing like the water. So literally like our back balcony, it was like right on Lake Michigan. So the lighting of these pictures, I wasn't able to sleep this night. And this is when the sun had come up. And I was laying on my couch, and the sun is hitting my face, and you can tell the pain in my face in these pictures. And sorry, this screen is a little smudgy too, but you can really tell the pain in my face, and you can see, I don't know if we can get it to focus a little better. You can see my eyes, like my eyes are all pinned out. I had taken the dose of Kratom. And so you can see the pain in my face. Again, my hair is pulled back, so you can't see how like scraggly it got in these pictures. But I mean, I look so emo. I mean, you gotta crack jokes, come on. That's what I do look like. I just like look like an emo kid. I'm the original emo, just so you know. I don't really dig that type of music, but I always joke because I'm very like emotional and like that kind of thing. And so I joke with my husband. I say like I'm the original emo. That's what I look like because of the bangs and stuff. But I mean, you gotta crack jokes, come on. But like you can see the pain in my eyes. You can see just how uncomfortable I was. And this was, let me look at the date. Yeah, December 18th, 2018. So I quit Kratom February 18th of 2020. So this was in that second year and when it was really bad. Again, I don't really feel like even these pictures like do this time justice, because like you look at it and you're like, yeah, whatever, you look fine. But if you know, you know, like I have like sweat, or it's probably actually because I would cover my face and like, yeah, you can tell because my bangs are kind of greasy. I would like cover my face in like the heaviest oils because my skin would dry out so bad. So that was probably like what the deal was with why my face is all shiny. Yeah, like you can tell I'm in pain, you know? This is okay, so here's another thing, and we've never gotten into this on this channel before, but like my teeth have been such a journey, y'all. Like, and I'm still not done yet because I'm actually going to be getting like an Invisalign sort of thing, because I had braces for a long time when I was young. My whole orthodontic treatment when I was young, it was years and years and years, and pain and discomfort and traumatizing, because I was born in the early 80s and I started having my orthodontic treatment in like the early to mid 90s, because I think I was like 8 when I got my first retainer, which was getting me ready for braces. But at one point my teeth were straight after I had braces, and I think I was just so traumatized by the barbaric orthodontic treatment that I had. Maybe it was because of the time when they did it. I don't know if it's better now. Maybe it's all barbaric. But by the time I was done with my braces when I was in my teens, I was just like, forget this. I don't want to wear my retainer. I don't want any dentists being in my mouth. I left home when I was 16. If you don't know that about me, I talk about it a lot on this channel. But I left home when I was 16. And then pretty much the only other time that I really had any dental work done was when I had a crown done in my teens, late teens. And then I had my wisdom teeth pulled in my early 20s. And that too, like, was my wisdom teeth getting pulled, was the pain of healing was worse than like natural childbirth for me. And after that, I was just like literally done. So, and something too, to like, you know, tie it into like what we talk about on this channel and stuff, and kratom addiction and everything else. But kratom addiction really messed up my teeth. Not like with how straight they were. They got crooked because I didn't wear my retainer after having braces. But there was something, I think it was because of the extreme dry mouth. And this kind of thing did not even happen to me when I was a big weed smoker. I was smoking weed simultaneously with the kratom addiction, but there was something about my kratom addiction over those 3 years where my teeth got so gunked up. They call it calculus, which is like hardened plaque. I never had that over the years of being just a weed smoker, but in those 3 years of my kratom addiction, my teeth got so bad. And so one of the things that I did in my recovery process, in the second year of my recovery actually, was I addressed the whole teeth thing. And I don't even talk about how much money I spent, but I invested a lot of money into getting my teeth to where they needed to be. I had a deep cleaning, which sucked. I did a professional whitening, and I had only 4 cavities, which in the grand scheme of like how long I had put off going to the dentist, that wasn't that bad. But I had a horrible phobia of dentists, and I especially had a horrible phobia of like needles, like those, especially those long needles that they use to give the local anesthetic. I had a horrible phobia of those, and I faced my fear, thank God, and ended up throughout that process. I did this whole process over the course of about a year, where I did all of the, the deep cleaning, the cavities, the whitening, all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it was a long process. I got over my fear of needles. I was thinking about doing the laughing gas, the nitrous, and I decided against it because I actually ended up researching and finding out that it depletes your vitamin B12 levels. I was trying to remember which vitamin it was, but it depletes your vitamin B12 levels. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, you know, even though it would be nice to have a little bit of the gas to take the edge off of my fear of getting this work done, I didn't want to backpedal in what I was doing nutritionally in my kratom addiction recovery process. So I just faced my fear. I found out that one local anesthetic is better than the other for me, and it made all of the difference in the world. So all of this is to say, this picture that I'm about to show you is actually me looking at how bad my teeth were. Like, if you can see, they're so yellow. And I mean, are they a little bit more crooked now? Like, I'm like checking out my teeth in the video. They might be, actually. But yeah, because they were straight after I had my braces. Like I said, I'm going to be getting Invisalign hopefully this year, depending on how my dental insurance works out at work, but definitely next year. So I was looking at my teeth here, seeing how gross they were. The yellow wasn't from the kratom, though. That was from the weed smoking. What the kratom did to my teeth, like I was saying, was it dried my mouth out so bad, so that created this imbalance, and then the plaque just like was out of control. So that's what that picture was, not to go off in a tangent. My husband makes fun of me. Like, I am obsessed with like my teeth and dental health and all that kind of stuff now. And he makes fun of me for it. So that's something that I get into. Here's one after I dosed, where I am laid out, like laying down, but you can tell my face. I had, you know, I was in that like relief stage. Like I keep saying, like, you can't tell how bad I look in these, like, especially like it's, you know, I'm doing this on my phone. You can't, I mean, yeah, you can kind of see my skin a little bit, like how gross my pores are. I'm always going to have pores on my face, but like it was really bad then because of the dehydration. But you can't really tell as much. This is just when my face is super skinny. And then let me see. So here's the one that, and that's all that I really have of those pictures. This is the one that I think really shows the lengths of like what my kratom addiction did to me physically. Because in these other pictures, you're not seeing my body. You're not seeing, you know, how like really sunken in and emaciated I became. You're not seeing my hair. But in this picture, you can really tell. And this is the one that's in the community post that I made, I don't know how long ago, in the summer sometime. And this picture really sums it up. And this picture does have a good story behind it that I shared in that community post and that I'll share again with you now, where you can really see in this picture, you know, how, like, look at my collarbones, like how emaciated I am, how straggly my hair is, you know, like this is how my hair is now. I don't have super thick hair. I never will. It's just not what I have. But like, you can tell the difference in my hair compared, you know, like this was all of my hair, you know, that was pulled to one side. And, you know, I have like, you know, double or more of that now. And you can see how straggly it is. You can see how just like dead it is, because there's like all of that like stuff sticking up on the top, which is like the broken hairs. You can see how sunken in my face is, and just how sunken in and emaciated my eyes are, and like how patchy my eyebrows are too. And let me see, because there's one more where, you know, you can see the pain in my face. And the story behind this picture that I shared in that post was that this was like really kind of like the bottom of it all for me. I used to wake up in the morning from getting broken sleep, and I was in so much physical pain that I would literally just be like curling into a ball. And I would go and like slump down the wall and sit on the floor of my bathroom with something underneath my butt because my butt was so bony. And I had the lights dimmed in there, and I would literally just mix up my first dose of Kratom, and I would just smoke weed and take the dose of Kratom and smoke weed until the Kratom kicked in. And it was horrible, and it was isolating, and it was just absolutely terrible. And it was like I would sit with like my knees pulled up to my chest like this, and sometimes I would be like holding my knees and like this, like basically in the fetal position, so much that it would like literally, like I would feel like my knees digging into my chest. And it was literally from like the pain and the discomfort that I was in these withdrawals, mixed with the damage that had been done to my body, and the emotional pain that I was in, the spiritual pain that I was in. And I took that picture one day, and I took it with the intention of wanting to document where I was at that very moment, because it was literally at the bottom of everything. I wasn't leaving my house at that point for weeks on end, sometimes up to 2-3 weeks on end. And I would dose and then basically stay in a dark room. And it was just absolutely horrible. I would stay on YouTube for hours and hours and hours on end. And my husband works, he still works the same schedule, but he's gone for most of the day and night. He leaves at 9 in the morning, and then he doesn't get home until after 9 at night. So I was completely alone, and my son had moved out at that point. So I was completely alone, and it was horrible. And I took that picture wanting to remember that time, because I wanted to remember what I felt like and what I looked like. And my intention was that I was going to break free from that addiction, and I was going to move forward at some point. And I wanted to be able to look back on that time and to see how far I had come. And it could be like a gauge as far as like, you know, where I was when I was at that bottom, and then where I would be now. And the cool story about this is that I ended up finding these pictures. I thought I had lost them because I had gotten the new phone that I use now, and I didn't know that I still had all of these pictures, because it seemed like there were a lot of them that were lost when I had like switched phones. And I had came across this picture randomly when I was looking for something else. And so this summer when I came across it, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, because I hadn't seen it in so long. And that's when I made the post, and I put in this post a picture of me this summer, and then this picture that I just shared with you. And, you know, I wasn't leaving the house for weeks on time, but it wasn't because I didn't want to. I couldn't. But I had wanted more for my life. I just wasn't able to have that when I was in this addiction. And the picture that I showed side by side with that picture that I just shared with you was a picture of me in downtown Chicago with my husband, and we were going to see a concert. And I could have never dreamed of doing anything like that 3 years ago, or, you know, actually, gosh, it's been a lot longer than that. Like I said, I'll be at 4 years in February. So whatever the math is on that, like I couldn't have dreamed of being able to do something like that when I was in this addiction, however long ago it was. So I share these with you with that hope that you can maybe see where you're at now if you're still in the depths of your addiction. And me sharing what I looked like and where I was at and stuff, and then where I'm at now, I'm hoping that you can see that recovery is possible. I'm hoping that you can see that if I can do this, you can do this, because I am an extreme example of how bad kratom addiction can be. The physical, mental, emotional effects that kratom had on me, and the level that I went to kratom because I was taking so much, is an extreme example of like how bad kratom addiction can get. So if you're seeing this and you're going, oh, well, you're fine now, like, you know, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know the struggles that I'm going through. Yeah, I kind of do. All of us are different. All of us go through different situations, but my addiction was so bad. And I illustrate that on this channel a lot in words, but now you can see it in these pictures. So wherever you're at, please don't lose hope and know that it's possible to break free from this addiction. So moving forward on this channel, I just want to do a quick update as well. I made a post about it a few days ago that I'm going into the super busy time of my work. I'm actually going on a work trip in a couple weeks. They're sending me out to open another store. I work for a natural food store chain, like a worldwide natural food store chain, and they're sending me out to open another store in another state in our region. And so I'm going to be doing that the week after next, and it's going to be absolutely crazy leading up to that, and then when I'm on my work trip, and then when I get back. So I'm going to be doing about a video a week, and I'm hoping to do a couple shorts as well. And I'm going to also try to vlog this work trip because I thought it would be kind of cool to do that. So hopefully I'm going to be able to do that. But just to let you know that that's what's going to be going on, and I appreciate your patience and understanding if there's not as many uploads or it takes me a little while to respond to your comments and stuff. So, all right, guys, I will see you in the next video, and we're going to continue on in our kratom addiction and trauma series, and then some other kind of random videos that I had in mind too. So I'll see you then. Bye.